Fight Time Network. Welcome back to Fight Time Network, y'all. We got UFC 318 down in Louisiana, headlined by Max Holloway and Dustin Poirier. This week, the BMF title had a crazy last weekend. Lewis ended up knocking out old boy in about 40 seconds. Lee, tell him what else went on this weekend. Hitting him.
That was crazy, man. Friggin' Derek Lewis getting a knockout like everybody thought he would. Takes his shorts off, shows his ass to the crowd in typical Derek Lewis fashion. That was one of those lucky ones, man. That could go either way. It could have, it could have been Teixeira ultimately getting the win. So that wasn't anything that we were really sure of. We were just happy to see. What we were sure of, though, is we got huge wins on Cage Warriors betting. We've got huge wins on one championship betting. 6-unit plays, all 6-unit plays for the UFC, Cage Warriors, and one championship cash. Massive money. We got our massive play as Steve Garcia. He cashed some no distance, Morgan Charrier, Nate Landwehr. We are on fire as far as the betting scene is with Fight Time Network. So jump on next weekend, man. We got KSW, PFL Africa, and then, of course, UFC 318.
No kidding. If you just listened to us last week and listened to me, remember, I was like, I just have a feeling this Garcia fight's going to go the distance. Cater's got enough in his tank. Everybody missed out on just a plus 350 on a Garcia win. So I was like,
yeah.
I ended up cashing in on that bad boy. Made the bet last second. Almost forgot about it, but I ended up getting her in there. Still making about $500. So no complaints by this guy.
There you go.
But on to this weekend. We got a 5-fight main card. We're going to add one fight in the prelims, which I can't believe is even down there. Could have easily replaced the Johnson fight. But is what it is. We got this breakdown coming up. Before we get to that, this video is brought to you by Kitajew Roofing out of the Cleveland area in Ohio. Don't let your roof be the underdog. Call Kitajew Roofing today and get it fixed. Leading off this card, though, before we get to the main card, and this bad boy's just hiding out under the featured prelim, Marvin Vettori coming up against Brendon Allen, Lee. Vettori coming in at 19-8-1. Brendon Allen, 24-7. Brendon Allen coming off back-to-back losses, one to Hernandez, one to Imavov. Vettori also coming off back-to-back losses. Jared Cannonier, Roman Dolidze. It's a hard one, Lee. It really is. Because Brendon Allen, he really fights differently every single fight. You know what you're going to get out of Vettori. Vettori's going to come forward, have that reckless brain he has, into which Vettori doesn't have really good cage awareness either. And the only one I could probably say beats him, maybe Brendon Allen in his cage awareness, dude.
Yeah, I think we're going to see actually like a typical Brendon Allen fight here. He's going to come on strong in the first round. He's likely going to land this takedown. You know, he's going to get Vettori down. And then it's just the wheels are probably going to fall off in rounds 2 and 3, especially with a championship caliber guy like Marvin Vettori. Like we see Jared Cannonier and what he was able to do with RoboCop after he fought Vettori. So it's definitely no slouch. There was some hard striking to take with. And I mean, Dolidze almost beat him the first time and certainly beat him the second time. And I don't think we're giving Dolidze enough credit, but after seeing Brendon Allen get that 29s, 28s on the cards and dropping the last 2 rounds to Anthony Hernandez, I certainly think Vettori is going to come in with a plan, able to win, and ultimately he may have hard time figuring out Allen in the first, but by the time the second and third rolls around and Allen gets a little bit of fatigue set in, I think Vettori is gonna take the center. He's going to land the harder shots, and he's going to convince it. It's going to go to a decision, but I certainly think Vettori is going to give the argument to the judges a lot better than Allen will.
Yeah, I don't see one of these fellas finishing one or the other. Definitely not Allen finishing Vittori. That'd be hell of an achievement from him. I just don't think he has the skills like you pretty much explained in the second and the third round to come against a Vittori. Vittori, yeah, he does get gas out, but he never fully like gets rid of the fumes. He's gonna keep coming, keep coming, keep coming, keep coming, keep coming. And once Allen, yeah, like you said, wastes that energy in the first round, gets the takedown. I really feel like both of them standing. If Allen can't take him down, Vittori, I feel will do better in the trading because he's not going to be fully looking for those takedowns like Brendan Allen is going to be able to. And Vittori's takedown defense, he's no slouch when it comes to defending takedowns. Also, so truthfully, I think it's insane you're getting Marvin Vittori even at a plus 200.
Yeah, it's not a bad bet. Yeah, it's like plus 180 for Marvin Vittori, and I mean that's it's a good argument for him to win. I don't like other than I think Brendan Allen's going to squeeze out the first round, but once it gets a little bit deeper, I don't see an avenue for him to beat Vittori. Vittori's going to definitely adapt as he has. I mean, he's taken Israel Adesanya to a decision. I mean, he doesn't get beat. He doesn't get finished. And I mean that we've seen that tenacity of wrestling is just one round with Brendan Allen.
Moving on to the first fight in your main card, UFC 318. Michael Johnson, 24-19. That's crazy seeing almost 500 in UFC. Against Daniel Zellhuber, 15-2. I think Michael Johnson's a little going to be classed out here only because he's 39 years old. Zellhuber has looked really good in his last few fights. Age is finally catching up to Michael Johnson, and this dude is really good with his footwork. I just don't feel like Johnson's going to be able to find that punch and put it on Zellhuber. I say Zellhuber 29-28 minimally here. I could see Johnson maybe squeaking out a first round. So I'm definitely taking Zellhuber here.
It's crazy. It's 2025, and Michael Johnson's 3 in his last 5, with one of those losses being a split decision, man, on a 2-fight win streak. But nonetheless, I mean, Daniel Zellhuber, he's got the youth, he's got the tenacity. He certainly has brought it. He's got the submission prowess if it goes to the ground. He's got that anaconda choke over Christian Gigagos. He went to a split where with Esteban Ribovics, but Ribovics had to dig down deep in order to win those judges' scorecards. Ribovics really had to find himself in that fight and go hard and really, really keep throwing those kicks consistently. If he would have dropped the pace for a second, it's likely he would have lost. He got to a split decision.
Facts, man.
Michael Johnson's going to swing and bang, but, Zibovic is going to be he's smart. He's an intelligent fighter, and he's going to put the pace. I just think Johnson's fought everybody in the lightweight division that has a name, and, that has an expiry date. And unfortunately, I think Zellhuber's the skill set that, unfortunately, there isn't a lot of avenues for Michael Johnson short of a highlight reel right hand to the dome.
A little bit. I mean, you never know. I just don't see this Michael Johnson coming out on top here. Like I said, Zellhuber, he's going to push a pace. And him standing, I mean, what else has Michael Johnson got on his feet other than maybe landing the bomb? Zellhuber is going to be throwing 3, 4, 5. He's averaging over 6 strikes landed per minute, which is very rare even in the UFC. That's a really high-paced fighter. And I know he's really early on in his career where he could push that. Hasn't really had to worry about the takedowns and things like that. But he did beat Francisco Prado, which is no joke, too. He's fighting on this card against Nikolai Veretennikov. I can't believe I got that off the rip. Veretennikov. Yeah. But he looked good, really, even when he got his win over Prado. And Ribovics is no freaking joke, man.
Yeah, man.
I just don't see Michael Johnson being able to put that pace and dig deep in when Ribovics had to do what he had to do. Michael Johnson's 39-40. He's not going to really have that energy. I'm saying Zellhuber at least takes 2 rounds. Just because even if Michael Johnson does figure it up, he's going to be playing catch up off the rip.
Yeah. And then you see what Robovics did to Hasperat in his last fight, and that's what Zell Huber was able to, um,
So who bad?
had to certainly face, man. He almost beat Hasperat too. He split his eye open, everything, that kick and powers thing. Like, unless Zell Huber makes a catastrophic mistake early on, I don't see a lot of avenues for Michael Johnson to win.
You are not wrong. What we got the odds on this one? I didn't even see it. Jesus. I got these things all messed up right now. I don't even know. Oh well. Moving on to your next fight. These dudes got the same type of build, same type of this and that. But you got Dan 50K Ige, baby. 19-9, stepping back in the octagon against Precio Pitbull. I'm taking Ige, but fuck, you never know. Fight's a fight. But I would take Ige here. I just really feel like Pitbull's pace and being with his age, and he's not going to be able to take down Ige as good as he probably thinks he is. I think Ige is better defending takedowns than Pre-Show Pitbull is going to give him credit for. I mean, 5 years ago, I'd probably take Pitbull and give him more of a chance to win this fight. Patricio, he's just very slow on his feet when it comes to his boxing. I don't know. I just really haven't liked his style and where he's come from. I mean, he's gained and achieved many great things within his professional career. I'm definitely never taking anything away from him on that. But I just feel like this is not his fight. Would he lose to D-Rod or Rodriguez? No, he that's different Rodriguez. One with the big lip, right?
Yeah. Sean Woodson.
Yep. Why does it say Rodriguez? This shit's all messed up. But he did lose to Sean Woodson.
No,
Oh no,
Danny Ige,
Ige beat
yeah,
Woodson. I'm talking about Ferreira's last fight against
oh
Rodriguez.
yeah, Rodriguez, yeah.
Yeah. Which, yeah, that was a rough one to come in and fight. Danny Ige is not a Yair, but I just don't see Pitbull winning this fight. Do you agree?
You know what? I'm on the other end of it there because I mean, Danny, like Patricio Pitbull delivers a style that I don't think is going
It is
to
different,
suit
but
into Danny Igue's wheelhouse. Like he's not going to be able to counter him. He's not like they're both the same size, so Danny Gate for some reason works best fighting guys that are way taller than him. You've seen that with Sean Woodson. You've seen that with Lerone Murphy, who's also a tall motherfucker. Diego Lopez is almost 6 feet. He did particularly well in those fights. And I mean, he's going to come with a great gas tank. You've seen him come off the couch to fight Diego Lopez, but I think the style in which Patricio Pitbull fights, that sort of stand in front of you, stare, stay out of danger, go when he wants to go. I think that's going to work against Dan Ige in this. I think Patricio Pitbull is going to land the better looking moments, and I think he's going to have Ige chase him. I don't think he catches him there. I think he plays it safe, but I don't think Ige is going to find the particular success that he had against Diego Lopez and that he had against Sean Woodson. I think Patricio Pitbull, the style that we saw him against Yair Rodriguez, which wasn't the most particularly fan-friendly and made you ask a few questions, I think that's going to work against Dan Ige in this.
that's a good take, man. God bless your soul, Lee. It's a hard one to know because I mean Pitbull did come in and already lose to Yair Rodriguez, so like that could have hurt him a little bit. You don't know where his head's at. Coming in the UFC, taking that loss. He's older. I always thought Dan Ige was a little older too, but he's only 33. I like that take, Lee. You made me second guess myself, you dirty. I just love Dan 50K Ige, and I love screaming it every time he fights, gets himself a knockout.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. I mean, Ige is going to find the moments where he's going
Oh
to try to
yeah,
take Pitbull's head off. But I mean, Pitbull's seen it time and time again. And I just think for Pitbull being like Dan Ige's kind of a shorter dude, so is Pitbull. And I just think that height, these are just short, compact dudes. And with Pitbull not willing to fully engage and go back and forth, I
right.
think there's ways that can work against Ige.
Now that you brought all that up, the styles do favor Precio. I'm still taking 50K EG, baby. Get some.
It's not a bad thing. Yeah,
It's
five
this
foot
week's
six,
really hard picking, man, other than the Michael Johnson fight for me.
yeah,
Well,
5'6" Pitbull, 5'7" Ige. Ige is not used to fighting
yeah,
guys shorter than him.
that is going to be weird
So
for him. Moving on to Kevin Holland back in the octagon, ladies and gentlemen. 28-13. Facing off against Daniel D. Rod Rodriguez, baby. 19-5. D Rod coming off a good win. Kevin Holland coming up against him to try to put him back down. Daniel Rodriguez kind of end his career. They're both coming off back-to-back wins. D Rod taking out Ponzinibbio and Alex Morano somehow. And then you got
yeah,
Kevin Holland coming over here getting a dub against Vicente Luque, which that one surprised me. I bet against him on that one. And then Gunnar Nelson, which he looked really great in the second to third round. First round was wicked. You had Holland getting curled in the air. Gunnar Nelson smiling. He's just hanging on. Whatevs. Oh man, Kevin Holland's gonna be so fast. D-Rod doesn't want to be taken down, which Kevin Holland can get him to the ground if he really wants to do a little bit of grappling. I just feel like Kevin Holland's gonna have him beat on the feet with that nice long distance. Gonna have a better gas tank in the third, like Ponzinibbio did not have. I'm taking Kevin Holland here. Is what it is. I like D-Rod. I'd love to see him win, knock out Loudmouth. But
yeah, yeah. That highlight of Ponzinibbio arguing the stoppage and then falling face first in the
yeah,
cage really made the year. But I agree with you there 100%. D-Rod has a habit of starting extremely slow in the first round and not doing much, as we've seen against Ponzinibbio. And that's a bad bet against Kevin Holland, man, because Kevin Holland's there to fuck around. He's there to play. He's going to come out. He's going to throw some bullshit. And it's just like, you can't be one round behind against Holland. Ultimately, Holland's not going to gas out. And if you don't have a grappling game against Kevin Holland, he's very, very difficult to beat. We've seen that with Vicente Luque, who is a great jiu-jitsu grappler, but lacks a lot of the wrestling base, and ultimately Kevin Holland exposed him. So, I mean, they're both tall dudes, but I mean, you just got, Kevin Holland's not gonna fall to the striking of D-Rod. Kevin Holland's going to be way faster. That's a given. And then if it gets to the ground, D-Rod's certainly in trouble. So yeah, it's Kevin Holland's fight to lose. There's no reason why he shouldn't find any way he wants to find a good path to victory.
and when you go and look at Kevin Holland's losses, man, you're just like, yeah, I can see why he lost that. And you got to remember back in
Yeah,
2023, he did knock out Ponzinibbio in the third also.
yeah, yeah,
Oh, you got to load that in perspective. But you look back at Kevin Holland, last lost, Rainer de Ritter.
yeah. The
Out
former
before
one,
that, Roman de
the
Liston.
form, the former one championship heavyweight champion
One
at
after that,
middleweight.
Michael Venom Page. After that, Jack Della Maddalena.
Yeah,
2022 lost to Khamzat Chimaev. Stephen Thompson back 3 years ago. Stephen Thompson's whipping D-Rod's ass too. So really here, man, he's only losing to damn near champions, people on runs like crazy, to which I don't even see D-Rod winning those fights, my friend.
No.
Not those losses. Not those losses. So you look at the caliber, he's beat everybody else you'd expect him to beat. And I don't see D-Rod coming up there and putting up that gate, big dog.
No, no.
That's my take on that one.
Yeah, this is Kevin Holland's potential to do a highlight reel finish
Yeah.
and third straight win at welterweight.
Spinning back kick in the face. Probably won't get that lovely justice, but it would be great. Moving on to your co-main event, y'all. UFC 318. You got Paulo Costa, 14-4, coming up against Roman Kopylov, 14-3. Costa has lost 4 of his last 5. Make that off the rip. That's the only reason I'm about to hate on him really badly. But he's still a killer. But Roman Kopylov was his only loss to Fluffy in the last 5. I gotta look. Pretty sure only lost to Fluffy Hernandez, right? Got choked out, Kopylov.
Yeah.
Wins before that. I mean, before that, he was getting nice knockout reels back in 2023, 22. Kind of took a long time because he came in, lost his first fight, which really hurt him. He lost
Go to
the
the
third,
door.
got submitted, didn't fight in 2020, lost to Duraev. So Kopylov came in, lost twice, didn't lose for a couple years, ended up beating Soriano, beat Cesar Almeida right after he lost to Fluffy. I mean, you look back at Paulo Costa's losses: Vettori, Adesanya, Whitaker, Strickland. Think Kopilov's got what it takes to beat those guys as it is? I think the takedown's what's really gonna hurt Costa here. He starts out slow. Is he gonna be able to defend those takedowns against Kopylov?
I don't, you know what? He's got those big tree trunks for legs. He is in good shape, but, you know, Kopilov's relentless. And, you know, we've seen with that head kick that he throws up there, he's, you know,
I love
he's
it.
got a striking game to him with Chris Curtis. And, you know what? I think the year layoff for Paulo Costa is really going to hurt him against Kopylov. I mean, we haven't seen him since June of last year where he fought Strickland. And, I mean, Kopylov is coming in off of this with some giant momentum. You know, he got the finish against Chris Curtis. He was able to edge out Cesar Almeida. He's 4 in his last 5. You know, Claudio Ribeiro, man, that friggin' head
There's no
kick was
joke.
something else. You know, I don't see where Paulo Costa, like what Paulo Costa are we going to see? Like, are we going to see the Paulo Costa that fought Yoel Romero and would just boot your head off your shoulders there? But it's just that layoff has a concern for me. I think Kopylov ultimately should be able to get him down. I don't see why not, man, because those kicks are a threat, certainly.
Yeah.
And ultimately, if he puts them out there right there, if he gets Costa thinking about him and, you know, wanting to guard his body, guard his head, he's going to be in a totally different stance to block those kicks. And ultimately, Kopylov is going to get in and be able to utilize the grappling. Or he could switch it the other way around, man. You know, Kopylov could try to get inside, try to clinch him up, and on each one of the breaks there, as he thinks he's coming in for the takedown, throw up that high kick.
Yeah. And I feel like, Kopylov still got that mentality. I'm going to become a champion. He still has that to work towards. And Paulo Costa kind of lost that. He's not going to have that mentality anymore. Ever since he took the loss to Strickland, lost to Whitaker, lost to Vettori and Adesanya. So every chance he's had, he knew he was not good enough. So he's definitely going to come in a whole different person compared to someone who's still striving to gain that title. And Kopylov, like I said, is so deadly on his feet with those high kicks and is a threat of a takedown. Man, for some reason, I just feel like Costa's going to freaking win this one and piss everybody off. Ruin the division. Get another fight that he's not supposed to get. Ends up losing again. I mean, his only good wins, Rockhold, but I mean, everybody he's fought is just straight dogs. I don't know how Kopylov would come up against Whitaker from a few years ago, or Sean Strickland, or Vettori when Vettori was still on his little bit run there. But I'd take Kopylov on this one, truthfully.
And even Rockhold got him to the ground at the end of that fight there too. So I mean,
Yeah, you're right. Moving on to your main event, but before we get to that, make sure you all check out TKO Roofing out of the Cleveland area in Ohio. It is owned and ran by its own champ, Cody Wilson, 145-pound champ in Cage Thunder, and has defended his belt like a boss, true champion. Don't let your roof be the underdog. Make sure you call TKO Roofing today and get it fixed, y'all. And your main event for UFC 318 for the baddest motherfucker belt. Max Holloway 26-8 against Dustin the Diamond Poirier. Hometown boy 30-9. I don't even know if I want to bet on this fight, Lee, and just ruin the nostalgia of it. You know what I mean? I'm rooting for both of these dudes. I've grown up watching these dudes fight for years on end, always putting on shows. I mean, the Poirier back on the McGregor, back in the day, those couple fights, man, was legendary. Max Holloway, always as legendary as you could be. Oh, man, if I had to pick one if I die, I'd probably just die. You just kill me, man. I can't pick. Oh, this is every true MMA, non-casual. It's hard to pick this one, man. It truthfully really is, because no matter who you pick, everyone's like, "Oh, you're following your heart. You're just picking." I'm like, "How are you supposed to actually pick one?" Like, this is who I'm picking. Fuck the other dude.
yeah, no, I think I'm gonna have to go with Holloway on this one.
That's what I was leaning to, but
As we've watched, like in the last sort of 6 fights of Dustin Poirier, he tends to get boxed up. He tends to get hit. Conor McGregor was able to tag him. Justin Gaethje was able to work. Justin Gaethje went into that fight technically sound and was able to land the head kick. Ultimately, obviously, we're not going to see any grappling, but I mean, if you take the first 3 rounds that you see Holloway do against Poirier, I seriously don't think that Dustin Poirier would be able to put something like that together. He's going to brood it, and I think Holloway's going to do what Holloway does. He's going to move. He's going to stay on the outside. He's going to stick, and ultimately, I can't see Poirier getting off much damage when he tries to face in. I think Poirier is going to be on his heels the entire time with Holloway, whether it's devastating, whether there's a lot of damage. But at the end of each of those exchanges, especially for 5 rounds, I don't see Poirier winning them 9 times out of 10. It's more Holloway's probably going to get the best of them.
One thing I'll throw in here is Poirier, he does his best boxing when people throw back and sit on their foot. Max Holloway's not going to post up. He's light on his feet, flow like a butterfly, sting like a bee. Like, for example, like St. Denis, Chandler, Gaethje was wide until that final knockout. Who knows how that fight would have even been freaking judged. But, that's where his best is. Even Oliveira got him, and he got lost against Poirier. Poirier lost it.
Yeah,
he fights his best game when people sit on their punches and sit there in the pocket with them.
Yeah.
Even look back to who's that British boy? Not British, England.
Arnold Allen.
Dan Hooker.
Dan Hooker.
That fight stick in my head for all of eternity, dude. Back when there was no crowd, you just heard them brutal battle. But people like that, it's going to sit in the pocket. Holloway, he's going to throw a few, get out. And like you said, there's no takedowns going to be involved. The only way Poirier wins this fight if he outstrikes him, and he's not going to throw as much as Holloway.
Yeah. And all of Dustin Poirier's great striking moments have come from fighters allowing the pressure from Poirier to back them up, and they get stuck and they get caught. Conor McGregor, the prime example in that first fight there. He caught him. McGregor caught him a lot of times there, but he backed up, he got stuck, and he got caught. And Poirier caught his chin. Same with Benoit Saint-Denis. They were up against the cage. He caught him, and he got stuck. He didn't have anywhere to move. And Max Holloway is not the guy that you can get up against the cage in those situations and strike. He's gonna counter pressure. He's gonna move off. And he's going to get back to where he's comfortable, where he can stick you again and again and again.
I have no disagreements. I'm not betting on this fight. If I do, you drive down here and you slap me, Lee.
Yeah, you're going to bet the fight.
I don't know if I want to take. I don't know. I've been watching so long. I just want to watch these two fight, not have one way or the other, not have money sweating this way. I probably will not bet on this main event. I'm be real.
Yeah. 6 p.m. Eastern to 1 a.m. Eastern is a long freaking time, man.
2 minutes before fucking Diamond. I have a feeling. I'm 6 beers deep. I got a feeling.
Yeah.
But I'm going to take Max Holloway on this one. Come out on top. Got anything for anybody here, Lee?
Well, this week, I'm going to give a shout out to my boy and training partner, Sebastian Serrano. He won his fight this weekend in Toronto, Canada, man. Unanimous decision. Almost knocked the guy out. My coach sounds hoarse as all hell, man. He lost his voice yelling because Seb almost got the knockout. So shout out, Seb. Congratulations on that win. And this weekend we got a lot in the betting. We've got PFL Africa, we've got KSW, and we certainly got the UFC. So pay attention to that winnable link. There's going to be a lot in the story this week. And we're even we'll probably throw up something free on the Instagram channel for you there too, to go and throw some money down on it. If you haven't listened all the way through, we're going to throw a good lean towards your way. But there's going to be, we cashed our premium 6-unit play last weekend in the UFC, in Cage Warriors, and in One Championship. 3 promotions in a row.
Yeah.
And 2 days in a row. And we're going to do the same thing this weekend. So be on the lookout for that. Let's go.
Let's go, baby. Enjoy UFC 318 down in Louisiana this weekend. Dustin Poirier's final fight. Don't miss it, y'all. See y'all next week.
Hell yeah.
Fight Time Network.